Hi friends, it is Dee, and I am here to tell you about something that I discovered last night. So I was messing around with Google because I'm trying to learn a little bit about SEO and understand it a bit better. You know the drill. But anyways, I was looking at what were the most um, popular and most predominant search topics on Google last night at a certain hour, which was like crazy late in the middle of the night. And the most predominantly searched topic was how can I be more pretty, which is so sad, but it also is very interesting and curious to me because it means that a lot of women do not understand the nature of pretty and perspective and socialization and the social culture of being pretty. So I am going to go through that with you. I'm going to do it in 3 separate chapters. They're going to be up on the screen here. I'll give you a second to take a look. So if you want, you can skip to whichever one interests you the most, but I hope you'll watch the whole thing because the whole video is interesting because it's mine. So my name is Deirdre Elizabeth. I make videos about life and how to navigate challenges and different situations and day-to-day circumstances. I do it with a psychology slant and usually a psychology basis and evidence-based information. And I do that because that's my background, that in healthcare and forensic psychology as well, and behavioral sciences. So that's typically what a video of mine is about, but I do throw in some random ones as well that are completely off the cuff, and this is sort of one of the random ones. It's just a topic that caught my attention, and we're going to talk about it now. So on to my first topic, chapter 1, and that is the nature and relativity of being pretty, okay? So it's pretty relativity is what I'm going to call it. And that is referring to the fact that no matter how pretty or unattractive or not pretty you are, there's always going to be someone who is prettier than you and someone who is less pretty than you. Okay. And what the other factor is what you find to be most attractive and pretty is not the same thing as the person next to you and not what they find pretty and attractive. So you might feel like you are the ugliest person in the world, but the person next to you thinks your features are the most beautiful features and they would give anything to look like you. And as you might feel the same way about them and think, gosh, I wish I looked like her. Life would be so easy if just I looked like her. But the fact of the matter is life isn't easy for anybody because everybody's only pretty on it's like a ladder approach. And depending on where you are, who's in the room, who's looking, who's determining and sizing you up and deciding your looks, you're on a different rung on that ladder. Whereas one person might put you at the top of the ladder, another person might put you down at the bottom of the ladder. And it's just relative. It's all relative. It doesn't matter because the ladder doesn't have a beginning or an end. It's just a scale and there's no top and end to it. So it's all relative. There's always someone prettier than you, always someone not as pretty. And the other thing is you might not always be the best looking girl wherever you go, but that's okay because you're going to go places where you are the best looking girl. And but the fact of the matter is it comes down to you, how you feel. If you feel like you're the best looking girl or you feel like you're not. So keep that in mind. It's relative. Okay. And that's very important. Chapter 2, the second point is that the diversity in pretty is enormous. Okay. So what is valued as pretty and attractive is very different between cultures, between religions, between different personality types, between people with different hobbies, different lifestyles, different professions. Some guys think an ideal woman is blonde. Some guys think an ideal woman is a brunette. Others, a man who's very physically fit might think a woman who's very built and has a strong musculature. That's very attractive, where another might think that looks masculine. Some guys like girls really curvy. Some guys like girls really skinny. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's just completely, some guys are leg guys, some guys are boob guys. Like, it's completely completely diverse what people find attractive and what people find to be pretty. Okay. It's just about preference. And I'll give you an example of this. I literally have two guy friends, and a couple of years ago, I was going through one of my weight flexes. You know how we go up and down sometimes throughout the year. I was going through one of my up and weight times, and I was talking about it to one of my buddies, and I was like, I gained a bunch of weight, and like I feel different. My body's like not fitting everything the same. So I got to go into the back of my closet and pull out my heavier clothes. And he's like, what do you want to be? Like, emaciated? He's like, you're skinny as hell. He's like, what do you want to lose? And I'm like, I don't, I'm bigger. And he's like, well, you'd be emaciated if you lost any more weight. So don't complain. And then my other friend, he knows I run every morning. He's like, you better start running faster because like you're packing it on really fast. So one guy likes really skinny girls and thinks that's pretty. And one guy likes girls a little thicker and heavier and he thinks that's pretty. And if I had lost weight, he said I would be disgusting and look emaciated. So there's an example. Some guys like girls that wear a lot of makeup every day and have a full face of makeup. Some guys like girls who don't wear makeup at all. It's all very diverse, and it comes down to personality types, culture, faith, religion, just hormones as well, like different hormone balances in the brain and in the receptors in our brain determine what we're drawn to and what certain pheromones attract us. So there's a lot to it. It's a whole science. We could have a whole video on what makes people attracted to different things. And there's a lot of social science and a lot of hard science behind it as well. But I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to leave it at that. So chapter 3 is maximizing your pretty potential. And this is important because we can all be prettier. We can all do better. So what we got to do is look at the details. We got to do things like make sure our eyebrows are trimmed and neat. And if you know me and you've watched my videos, you've seen I've had some crazy eyebrows at some points, but look back if you haven't, you'll find it interesting. But we can make sure our hair is clean and it smells good. And whether it's short, long, whatever color it is, doesn't matter. It's clean and it smells good as best we can. We can make sure our clothes look pressed or look neat and put together, whatever our style is. We can make sure that, we have a style. Let's get to know ourselves. Know what makes us feel pretty. Know what features and qualities about ourselves on the outside that we like and we find attractive. And let's capitalize on those. If we think we have pretty eyes, then let's put our makeup on in a way that accentuates our eyes if we wear makeup. Or if we like our hips, let's wear clothes that accentuate our hips. We need to know ourselves, know our own bodies. It's easy. It's a cop-out to say we're beautiful on the inside. That's a cop-out. We're talking on the outside here, okay? So I'm being shallow, and that's just, it is what it is. So find what you think is attractive about yourself, because truly at the end of the day, it's all relative to everybody else. One person, you can't please them all. If this group thinks you're pretty, then this group thinks you're ugly. If that team thinks you're pretty, then that team thinks you're ugly. So it all comes down to what you think of yourself. You need to feel beautiful and feel that you are pretty yourself. So find what you feel is pretty about yourself and capitalize on it, maximize it, pay attention to it, make sure it's at its best, and make sure you draw attention to it. Make sure you carry yourself in a manner that demonstrates that you know you're pretty and you're beautiful, even if you're not stereotypical Instagram pretty. That's just one look. Not every guy likes that look. Only some guys like that look. Other guys like a different type of looking gal altogether. So it's very unique. Don't forget it. Feel beautiful. Find what's beautiful about you and work on it and accentuate it. Be proud of it. Flaunt it. Work it and love it, girl, because everybody has something beautiful about them. And that's my video. So maximize your pretty potential. And I will leave you with that, ladies. And I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe and share my video with someone if you think it'll help them, particularly if you know any younger women who maybe struggle with this a little bit. Maybe it's a good video to share. It might be helpful. Who knows? I'll see you guys soon. Take care.